has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. In that way, I do think Caitlyn's being used as a pawn. Caitlyn didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening. And that, I think, is what's been such a shock for all of us, that other people are surprised by this. We've been trying to tell you. I would have loved to have shut up and dribble. I would have been loved to have been spoken about just for my play, but nobody ever.
When a living legend slams the brakes on the WNBA hype train, you pay attention. Sue Bird just dropped some serious truth, and what she said isn't just surprising, it's headline-shaking. Caitlin Clark isn't simply the league's rising star. She might just be its chosen scapegoat. So the real questions are, who's behind the scenes? Why now? And why is Sue speaking out like she's been sitting on receipts all along? Stick around, this rabbit hole goes deep.
So Sue Bird has been speaking out a bunch lately, bro. Which she always speak out, but it seems like she's speaking out a little more than usual, bro. So she spoke about the physicality of the league. Now we know the league is very physical, and to the sense, she spoke about the former players that's in the league actually wearing these bruises like, you know, scars and war wounds type stuff.
Let's address the elephant in the arena. Or more accurately, the commissioner-sized wrecking ball posing as the WNBA's gatekeeper. Whatever her original job description was, she seems to have confused it with being the chief officer of chaos. And not the productive kind, more like the "how is she still employed" kind.
Well, real quick, what did you notice about Caitlyn's work ethic?
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly.
Yeah.
And it was the way she approached everything too was it was with a sort of excellence. It wasn't oh, I'm just gonna go through the motions and whatever. It was no, I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, and especially whenever our gray squad guys were playing against us, it was if you're across from me, you're my enemy, you know? And I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all up with her.
At this point, the WNBA is starting to feel less like a professional league and more like a reality show. Only instead of roses, they're tossing out technical fouls like confetti at a kid's birthday party. It's almost impressive how one person can alienate rookies, fans, and common sense all in a single season. The commissioner seems to be speedrunning through public trust like she's on a mission to unlock a hidden level where accountability doesn't exist.
Sue Bird is now calling out Caitlin Clark's teammates because she believes Caitlin Clark's teammates have to do something. I've said this myself. Something has to happen in order to free up Caitlin Clark to be able to get some open looks. She's great at making sure everybody else gets great shots. All right, and she's pretty good at creating her own shot. But it seems and part of this too is Stephanie White and one of her failures. The inability to get open shots for your star.
Every time a new controversy explodes, surprise, she's either missing in action or shows up with a statement so vague it might as well be the fine print on an expired yogurt coupon. Let's call it what it is. A full-blown culture of bullying. That's the energy now. Either you follow the ever-changing, unwritten rules, or get steamrolled by PR spin dressed up as official league policy.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve this early. She's handled it great. I think she's performed last year. She's performing again this year. I think she's the rightful face.
These games have become interpretive dance routines, with refs making calls based on vibes instead of rules. Traveling. Who cares? Elbows to the face. Shrug. Breathing too close to a veteran with bad Wi-Fi energy. Automatic foul. And somehow, miraculously, the calls always seem to go against one player. The rookie with the biggest fan base this league has seen in decades. Coincidence? Sure. And my cat just launched a crypto startup. Fans didn't sign up for this circus, especially the new ones. We came for basketball, not to be background characters in a low-budget soap opera fueled by ego, envy, and shady politics. This isn't a league growing, it's a league gatekeeping, with a side of petty served extra crispy. And here's the wildest part. The commissioner had a golden opportunity. A generational talent landed in her lap like a goose laying million-dollar eggs. She could have built an empire. Instead, she built a dodgeball court.
Hoping that video I sent about Caitlin Clark getting fucked over yesterday too. God dang, dude, it wasn't that bad.
That was brutal.
Just like she's purposely getting targeted, and I think you're 100% right. It's jealousy. There's nothing else. No, nothing else it could be. It's nuts. It's nuts.
It's so weird. You really don't see that in the men's game, but it's not at this level, and it's not like that like on purpose.
It's like is it pure?
Caitlin Clark takes elbows, blind screens, and full-body hits with a level of grace more common in NFL linebackers. And somehow, it's always dismissed as just part of the game. If we wanted full-contact chaos with made-up rules, we'd tune into Survivor, Elbow Island. The hypocrisy isn't subtle anymore. It's loud, it's proud, and it's sitting courtside sipping Gatorade, daring anyone to speak up. It's a commissioner applauding leadership while ignoring the fact that grown adults are acting like nightclub bouncers at a middle school dance.
I'll put her comment here. She was referencing Caitlyn being picked up on full court. A lot of her fandom fans, I guess that's what I'll call them, says that, she's not like the greatest ever. Why are people picking her up full court? And this former player is saying most scouting reports say when you pick someone up full court, it's because they typically turn the ball over and they're not the best dribbler. They don't like the pressure. As we have seen throughout Caitlyn's pretty much her entire career, she has averaged not just a lot of turnovers, but more than any WNBA, NBA, NCAA, men or women ever.
If you listen closely, you can almost hear the league's credibility dripping out of its official Twitter feed. What exactly are we promoting here? That success comes from creating a hostile environment? That bullying passes as leadership? That referees exist to boost veteran egos? This isn't inspiration, it's intimidation wrapped in a glam filter. Or worse, hollow justifications delivered with the smugness of a parent whose kid shattered the vase but still blames the dog. Let's be real. Caitlin Clark's success isn't threatening the game itself. It's threatening the old, creaky hierarchy that's terrified of change. She didn't ask for permission. She didn't wait for approval. She showed up and started rearranging the furniture. And now, the folks who once ran the living room are flipping the coffee table in a panic. And the commissioner? She's not stopping the chaos. She's passing out the crowbars.
We're going to talk about it today. What's your thoughts on all of the hate she getting?
So as far as the hate goes, a lot of it's just unjustified because anytime you make a major jump from college to the next level, you're always going to have a little bit of struggle. It's a big culture shock. So I think that's one factor you got to put into it.
What you mean by culture shock?
Now, if you watch most kids play now, what are they trying to do?
Shoot threes. Yeah, they try to shoot from 30 and look away for a go in the rim.
Because of how Steph Curry affected the youth, because of how he was shooting. Now you're having a lady who is showing women, hey, you can shoot from this distance. And now what that's going to do is that's going to create the younger youth also saying, shoot, I'm going to go shoot like.
Imagine Caitlin Clark lighting up the EuroLeague like it's an arcade game. Meanwhile, the WNBA's back home with 5 fans and a glitchy Instagram reel, wondering where it all went wrong. Let's be clear, rivalries are the lifeblood of sports. They bring spice, drama, and energy, but only when they grow naturally. You can't just toss 2 players on a court, crank the media hype to max, and start dropping coded hints about flavor and attitude.
This is a public announcement. I need everybody to stop what they're doing and listen up. As we watch the WNBA every day because of the way they play the game, because I love the WNBA, I love the way they play the game, but we really watch it because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knocking her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect.
Every moment that could have been a cultural milestone ends up fumbled. And players are noticing. That's not leadership, it's sabotage. Especially when the star at the center of it all isn't asking for parades, statues, or special treatment. She's just trying to hoop, trying to navigate elbows, ejections, and icy stares, while carrying a league that seems determined to trip over its own ego. And yet, we're watching her get picked apart by the very system she's helping to resurrect.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting for the All-Star game. The pettiness has no bounds. But it's interesting, for years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. Iowa girl, Indiana girl. Well, who knows, and I've said this for years, when the wave hits, ride it. You don't know what it looks like.
Let's be honest. No player in recent years has brought this level of attention to the WNBA. Not even close. Sold-out arenas, surging ticket sales, viral highlights, and non-stop media buzz. She's a walking billboard for the league's potential. Yet instead of protecting that momentum, the league treats her like she slipped in the back door with a fake ID. And what message does that send to the next generation of stars? Welcome to the WNBA, where talent gets sidelined and popularity earns you side eyes from your own league. Because right now, the message is loud and clear. The people at the top would rather watch the league implode than admit they've mismanaged it. And if that mindset doesn't shift fast, fans won't have to say they're done if Caitlin walks away. Most of us will already be gone before she even makes that call.